Hi Capricorn, and welcome to the Mother Tressa channel. Welcome back. I know there's been a hiatus, but there's been so much going on, with all the rioting, the protesting, the deaths, the unprovoked deaths of a lot of Black men and just innocent individuals in general that's been happening. So I just didn't feel like it was appropriate for me to come on this camera and to do general readings, because for the most part it's been about like love and finances and all that. But how can you focus and wrap your mind around something so positive when there's so much ugly things that's going on in the world that really should have more of our attention? But I am back, can't be gone forever. So glad to be interacting with those that are already familiar with my channel. But for those that are not familiar, then come on into this room and definitely feel safe enough to be yourself wherever you are energetically, be it positive, negative, or neutral. That doesn't concern me so long as you leave better than you came, okay? Just have an open mind and an open heart as you're listening to what is being said today, and whatever may pertain to you, just take that, keep it, put it in your back pocket for a rainy day. If maybe it doesn't necessarily apply right now, but it could be useful in the future, then do that. But do give me a thumbs up so that I can pop up on the main queue of recommended videos for other people to watch. Share this with other Capricorns that you may know, and subscribe to this channel if you like the vibe and you want more of these videos. As I was shuffling the cards for you guys, I heard eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by his toe. If it hollers, let it go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And then you know how, like, for some that have the extended version or know the extended version, like, my mama told me to pick the very best one and you are not it for the rest of your entire life. So some of you guys are going to be doing that. I don't know what area of your life is most affected that would have you looking at it in that type of way, but we shall soon see. For those that are interested in transits and astrology, let me tell you what's going on. The sun is in the zodiac sign of Gemini. As we know, it's Gemini season for Western astrology, at 16 degrees, which is Cancer's energy. The moon is in the zodiac sign of Capricorn at 0 degrees. For those that are unaware, 0 degree is the truest expression of that sign. So it's going to be heavily influenced at this time as far as emotions are concerned. You are going to be the most practical when it comes to heart matters, if not extremely calculated when it comes to how you articulate your emotions and or how you're processing things that may be heavy, and or processing what somebody else may be coming in to tell you. You're not going to be volatile and or highly reactive or responsive at this time, but more so just observant, and then that type of mode. Mercury is in the zodiac sign of Cancer at 9 degrees, which is Sagittarian's energy, that 9th degree. And then Venus is in Gemini at 11 degrees, which is Aquarius's energy. And for those that also want to know what's happening transit-wise, Venus is still retrograde. It will be for the next 2 months at the very least, if not longer than that. And so at this time, you will be doing a lot of revisions when it comes to matters of the heart. If you have multiple suitors, and or you are the one that other people are throwing themselves at, then that could be where you're doing that eeny, meeny, miny, mo as far as figuring out who is really going to be the best option for you. And or just looking at it and looking at people in their entirety, in their entirety. So you're not going to be phased by somebody's looks, at this point and in this phase with this transit. That's not enough for you to just be physically attracted to someone. Like, do they mentally stimulate you? Like, are they as ambitious as you? Are they as grounded as you? Do they have the same values that you share? Are they family oriented if that's something that you care about? Like, you're looking at the entire person, their personality, and how well that meshes with yours, if there's actual compatibility there, and if not, like, what other purpose they could serve in your life. Like, maybe they should just be a good friend, maybe they are meant to be a business partner. Maybe they just came across my path because there's something that I'm supposed to give. And so this is a season of me learning how to be selfless. Like, you're looking at everything in its entirety and really breaking it down, and building it back up. Wow. Okay, so this is what came through for you Capricorns. You have the Two of Coins, followed by the Queen of Cups, and the Moon card. Bottom of the deck is the Seven of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and the Five of Swords. What did I say? Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Catch a tiger by its toe. If it hollers, let it go. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. My mom said to pick the very best one. And you are not it for the rest of your entire life. Is this what somebody's saying to you? What I also find very interesting is the fact that you guys are starting out with Two of Coins energy, because I just recorded Aquarius's video and they had the Two of Cups. So there may be some mirroring going on there. You may be dealing with an Aquarius, or you have prominent placements within your own natal chart that might be activated at this time. So definitely go listen to that message as well and see what could resonate for you. But that word, the way that it felt on my tongue, resonance, that's what's going to matter the most for you. Just how well and how wholly something can resonate for you. I feel like by perception, you guys are coming off as very wholesome, sensitive, compassionate, understanding people, very loving people, would give the shirt off of your back if somebody needs it, very nurturing. So people can be coming to you at this time because they may be in a rough spot, and you will be the one that's going to mentor them and or coach them through their trials and or tribulations. Or somebody's coming to divulge something to you and they're hoping that you can have, what is that called when somebody goes to like a therapist? Confidentiality. They're hoping that if they come to you with something that you would be able to keep their secret. For some of you guys, you can't hold water, and so if this hasn't already happened, there's potential for it energetically, for you to tell what somebody confided in you to somebody else that does not have that person's best interest at heart, and they go and run and paint the town red with the Seven of Wands energy and stir up trouble, and then you could potentially lose a friend, and or you could be put in the middle in between two people right now, and they're giving you an ultimatum and telling you that you have to decide if it's like it's me or them type of thing, which can be a very hard place to be in, because no two people are the same, right? There's a reason why you like each person. This is extending outside of love and or romance, right? Because that is different, unless you're just wired differently and you just love whoever and you're just more so open when it comes to that, like you're into polyamory or just open marriages and relationships, and that's different. But this is giving me more so friendship vibes, or like colleagues, like somebody that you could be going to school with and or that you work with type of vibes, where you're being put in the middle. And so you may often feel very exhausted because you're constantly having to diffuse situations because two people for some reason cannot get along, be it because they are competing for your time and your attention and or affection, and or because they just feel threatened in some way by the dynamic that you have, because you can have two best friends, but the way that you treat each best friend is going to be different, if that makes any sense. Like there's one that you go to and you can go over to their house and you know you're going there to feel serenity. Like you go over there, you guys aren't into antics, you like Netflix and chill. You go over there, you eat a good meal. That's where you go when you want to feel safe and or you want to feel that unconditional love without the expectation that you have to act out of character in order to receive it, right? Whereas there's another friend that could be your best friend that you know, but you know that you only call on them or you're around them when it's time to have fun. Like that's who you take to the club with you all the time because they're always up for that type of adventure or excitement, right? That's the person that you take on trips with you, maybe because they're more financially stable and can do that type of thing, but they're just more so, how do I want to say that? We can just say like more adventurous in that type of way. You know, like going to a foreign country or foreign land doesn't scare this person. They embrace change. They like being able to learn things about like culture, you know, whereas the other person may be a little bit more timid, and there's nothing wrong with that, but they most likely will never leave the state that you guys live in, or the US or the country at large, because that's just not them. That's just not their nature, and that's completely okay. But then you can see how you will have to be different just depending on the situation or circumstance that you exist in. So you can be struggling with that, because the one that is more peaceful and or calm or timid and or soft and sensitive and or shy can be looking at the one that is more extroverted and either be jealous because they know that they just naturally aren't like that, and or feel threatened because they may perceive that individual to be a bad influence on your life, and or, you know, like especially if you're of age and you can drink, and then when you're around them and they ask like what you're doing, you always say that you have something that you're drinking on or smoking weed or experimenting with any other type of drug safely, but like they can perceive that to be a negative bad influence on you, and or this person can be looking at this friend and be like, oh my god, like they're so boring, like they just play life too safe, you know what I mean? So like, why do you even want to hang around them? They're just super judgmental, you know, and or just super indecisive, never really know what they want to do, or you can only ever do what they want to do. They're never interested in trying new things, you know. So it can be that type of thing that you're battling with, which can be difficult. When it comes to love itself, this can be just you learning, right, with this coins energy, learning how to be more receptive and emotionally available to those that are coming to you, and you're not coming off as coming off as super dismissive when somebody is in that space where they just really need a hug. It's not like oh, just get over it, you'll be fine. You're learning like, okay, like this person is really needing for me to be their shoulder right now, like their pillar of strength right now. And maybe I can coach them and tell them things about like what works for me whenever I'm feeling like this, so that they can develop a tougher skin, because that's what can be happening here with this energy too, when it comes to like relationships and or other things that just may be coming into their lives and inflicting some level of pain on them, and they just feel like heavily burdened or just weighed down or pressured in any way. You know, like I can help them overcome that, but like gently, instead of just being like the type of person to like brush them off, you know. Or like if you are dating somebody and they say, oh, well, this hurt my feelings, you know, you're not going to be like, oh my God, you're such a crybaby. You're more in a space where it's like, okay, well, tell me what it is that I said wrong, like, and then you explaining, well, that was never my intention to hurt your feelings, so I am sorry that you took it that way. Like, you're going to be more apologetic to those that you may rub in any sort of way that could be perceived as wrong, right? Because that's not your intention. Some of you guys, you wanted to play that role of being very cool, calm, collected, and nonchalant, but you're coming to realize that it's not working to your benefit at all. So eeny, meeny, miny, mo, do I continue to do this, or do I switch it up a little bit and try something different, you know, without losing your identity in the process, right? And doing anything that's too extreme and just not really a part of your true nature. But if you know that you've been putting on a front so that you can't be taken advantage of in any way when it comes to love, then now it's like you are going to be lowering the defenses, going more so with the flow. If you feel like before you've been a little bit too controlling and you wanted to know like step by step like how things are going in that certain dynamic, if you planned a date or they wanted to do something, it's like you had to know every little detail. You're going to be letting go of that sense of control and or possessiveness that can come through with that Two of Coins energy, and just being open to the element of surprise, and just again going more so with the flow of the day. And then being open to like trying new things. And if it doesn't work, it's not like you're going to internalize that and be like, oh, well, this is why I have to be like this. It's just more so like no, like just this time it didn't work, and that's okay. The next time that something happens that I want to try and step outside of my comfort zone, I'm going to do that. And if it doesn't work, that's okay. I'm in the process. I'm learning what, again, resonates with me, what is for me, what I would like to do more of, and what I could do without, but that I appreciate still as an experience and as something that I can integrate into my life and be able to manipulate in certain ways to work in my favor at the end of the day, like in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Maybe this method doesn't work, but doing it this way does. So it's like trying those different things. That's what I'm getting here, Capricorn. But yeah, if you have broken somebody's trust, I feel like you're going to be working really hard at this time to make amends. Again, you're going to be really apologetic, and going forward, you know that if somebody comes to you and tells you something in confidence, that it's because they felt safe enough to do that. And so you're going to be honoring and cherishing that a lot more. There's a lot of good that is coming through. Some of you guys, you might be feeling the weight and the pressure of what's going on in society. And so you might just naturally be a little bit more sensitive at this time. And you might be crying a little bit more at this time, or seeing other people crying at this time. But that release is going to be very refreshing for you, because for those that may have been taught and or conditioned to be stern and or have a poker face, you're realizing just how empowering vulnerability actually is, and or just how special having intimate moments with people are, where you don't always have to be so business minded and so practical. Like it's okay to be in touch with the more feminine aspects of who you are. So that's what's coming through, Capricorn. If this reading resonated, give me a thumbs up, share this with your friends and family, subscribe if you haven't, and book a session with me should you need to. But if I don't hear from you, then please just take care of yourself and soul until you see me again. Ciao.